This is Mike Jacobson. Mike and I are partners, and we decided to interview each other here. So this week I'm going to do Mike, and next week he's going to do me. I'm down in New Zealand right now, Mike. That's why I've got my flannel shirt on here. It's winter down here and chilly down here. We just broke freezing yesterday, and you're up in Florida, I see there on your sailboat again, but uh, it's a little bit different up there in the summertime in Florida and the winter down here in New Zealand.
Yes, you have the freezing temperatures, and we have heat index over 100.
Wow. So let's get into it, Mike. Just tell those who are watching this about you and Barb and your family and what you did prior to where you are right now.
Sure, Barb and I have been married over 35 years, and it's coming up on 40. We've been living in Florida. I've spent a lot of time in Atlanta growing up. She's from Buffalo, New York. We've got two kids, both of them. I have been married. Our daughter's divorced now, but both kids are launched well on their own, doing well. And now Barb and I are enjoying our retirement here in Florida.
And how long have you been retired, Mike?
Uh, since, since I guess over 6 years now.
How
So,
about that? And you and Barb really have been having a grand time in your retirement. Some people call it bucket list. Maybe you just had some adventures you wanted to take together. What's some things you've done in retirement?
one of the things we did was a Route 66 road trip, and we've done about the first third. I did not want to rush the trip. It's not getting from Chicago to Santa Monica as fast as you can. It's more enjoying the sights along the way. So we never traveled more than 100 miles a day and just spent more time getting out of the car sightseeing than what we did driving. And it just, yeah, that's just a fun kind of a trip.
That's a
Yeah.
relaxing trip and historic with Route 66. Some of us have been around long enough to remember some things on TV about Route 66. Yes.
That's right. I think there was a TV show about that. Another trip was to Hawaii. My mom wanted to go see the whales watching it, or do some whale watching out there. And so we spent a week out there uh, helping to fulfill her bucket list.
Yeah, that is something that I've really celebrated with you. The things you've done with your mom that you can do now that were harder to do when you were working, to go enjoy her bucket list. You took her snorkeling?
Yes, that was St. John's in the Virgin Islands. She was over 80 years old when we went down there in January of 2020. That's where this picture of the boat's from. And so we got out there in the water, and I'm a fairly strong swimmer, and she had been there many years ago and enjoyed it and wanted to get back to St. John's. We got out there and went snorkeling, and she could see some sea turtles and some other sea life and had a great time.
You've been having wonderful time these 6 years in retirement. How did you prepare to be able to retire? And you retired relatively early compared to some people.
Yeah, I was 58 when I retired, which is earlier than what my employer thought I should be. And we started when I graduated college
Hmm.
because I started contributing to my 401k, and would invest 10% of our income every month toward retirement. And the 401k was a great avenue at the time. I was aware of real estate, but didn't have enough money or didn't think I did to invest in real estate at the time. So
Hmm.
that came along later. But it comes from investing early and often and being able to protect those investments so that they would be there when we needed them.
So, like a lot of people, your investments early were in stocks or mutual funds or that through your 401k.
Right. Starting out, that's the way
Yeah.
it was.
And then
So
you
it's
were
still
just
balanced between stocks and real estate.
okay. And consistency was a key there, a discipline and a significant portion of your income preparing for your retirement. That 10%, that's huge for a lot of people.
But that's also what we had read before, preparing financially, that's how much you should be investing as a minimum.
Yep, it was my grandparents that taught me that one, Mike, very early on. They give me a dollar and say 10 cents is going down to the bank.
Yep.
And got to start it early. That's probably one of the keys for people. There'll be people watching this that maybe haven't started that discipline yet, and that's just something that's really important.
Yeah, there's nothing like time when it comes to watching the investments grow. There's because the earliest dollars have the most time and they're the ones that grow the most.
Wonderful. So you prepared early and along the way, and then later you got into real estate. Why real estate?
My dad went into real estate when I was in uh, high school, and I ended up following him. I got a license to do real estate in Georgia, and I did that while I was in college. But then I decided I wanted to be an engineer, so I went into aerospace engineering for my career. But I always had the passion for real estate. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed showing properties. I saw the investment side. That's where my dad was building duplexes and investment properties. So I saw the potential. And so the seed was planted early on before I really started investing after college. I just but I had the bug for real estate early
Mhm.
on.
The stock market's doing really well right now. Why might people want to be in real estate when the stock market's doing so well right now?
Well, they also remember the dot-com crash. There are bear markets, and when you see it, just really shakes you, and you like to have some stability. Diversifying across different assets is one way to help stabilize. So when the stock market is down, we can take money from real estate.
Hmm. So, Mike, as we're going to wrap up here in a few minutes here, one of the challenges I know my peers have is outliving their money that they've saved up for retirement. How have you and Barb prepared to not outlive the money that you've saved up and invested?
That's a good question, Harlan. And one of the things we did, we have created a spreadsheet. And I learned how to do this particular one from playing the cash flow game that Robert Kiyosaki developed. And we just created that showing where our income is going to come from and where all of our assets are. And every month we go through and fill out the spreadsheet. My wife and I do that together on the first of every month, and she can see how our portfolio continues to grow. And we are actually very conservative in what we're withdrawing because we don't take the full five. I say you can take 5% a month total distribution from the portfolio, but we don't take close to that. So we really have a lot more room. But my wife was very nervous at first until she was able to see that portfolio growing every month. And that
So it's
that
not just,
really hurts it.
yeah, so it's growing the portfolio even during retirement has been important to both of you to have confidence to spend the money you're spending, like on the Alaska trip that's coming up for you.
That's right. So, because I mean, if you go back 30 years ago, I don't know how much it cost you when you had to replace your van, but it certainly costs a lot more now. We know the prices go up, so the portfolio has to continue to grow to cover inflation.
Yeah. So go back to 30 years there, Mike. What would you say to somebody 30 years? What do you say to yourself 30 years ago that you've learned about preparing for and enjoying retirement? What would you say to yourself?
Invest early as much as you can, but remember to enjoy life along the way. It's not just about investing. You need to spend a lot of time and enjoy some of the money on experiences. Don't sell yourself short there, but do prepare for the retirement and try to retire as early as you can because after 50, I mean, you even see it in your 40s, you start slowing down. You're not as capable as maybe in your 30s in some respects. And as you get older, our health declines. So you want to retire as early as you can so that you can enjoy all of these things while you're in the best health that you can.
And you have done
Take it
exactly
along the
what,
way.
yeah, you've done what you're telling your 30-year younger self to do is be disciplined, prepare, retire as early as you can, enjoy life along the way. What's up next for you here, Mike? So the Alaska trip, and what else is out in front of you?
Yes, we have a 2 week trip to Alaska coming up. Then we have a trip to Myrtle Beach. We'll spend time with family and friends there for about a week and a half.
Hmm.
And later in the fall, we have another trip to Tennessee. Going to visit some friends in the mountains, and we'll have a real estate mastermind where some of us just get together and talk real estate and life for a few days.
Wow, neat. Mike, it's been a joy to have folks get introduced to you and Barb and how you prepared and the discipline that you had in that. Any final comments here?
Oh, that's a lot. I think, but really, I think, you know, it's not preparing for retirement is not just about the money. That's only a piece of it. The other thing is having a plan, create a vision for what you want your life to be like, what it is you want to be doing every day. For me, and it may change. We thought we were going to end up in a house at the beach, and we ended up um, in a community a few miles from the beach, in a 55 and up community that is so active. We have something to do every day, and it's just much more than what we ever expected.
That's what I hope for the people watching this, that retirement will be much more than they ever expected, that they prepare well and enjoy it every day. Thank you, Mike. Good to see you. We'll be back in good old hot Florida here in about a week.
All right, we'll see you then.
Bye bye, bye, Mal. Bye bye.
See you, Harlan.